Well, ladies and gentlemen, buckle up, because if you thought the open border circus was over, think again. The radical left is out here throwing full-blown tantrums as ICE finally starts doing its damn job under President Trump. We're talking about mass deportations kicking off in full force, and these clowns are screaming bloody murder like the country's on fire. And I'll tell you what. Right now, in places like Tucson and Minneapolis, it's not just protesters, it's also elected officials and foreign insurgents trying to stop federal agents from rounding up illegals who have no business being here in the first place. You see, the Trump administration is not playing games anymore, and the snowflakes are melting faster than you can say, deport them all. Now, for those of you who missed the chaos yesterday, let's break it down, because this isn't just some random arrest. It's the opening shots of America taking back its sovereignty, and the left hates every second of it. Picture this: freezing cold in Minnesota, snow piling up like the regrets of every Biden voter, and ICE agents are out there in unmarked vans, no nonsense, dragging illegals straight off the streets. That is correct. These aren't tourists. These are criminals who've been squatting in our country for years, draining resources, and now they're getting the boot, but not so fast. I want you to check this out. There was a Somali squad last night in Minneapolis. A mob of these so-called protesters surrounded ICE vans, chucking objects, blocking escape routes, turning what should be a routine deportation raid into a third world standoff. But take a look at this footage. It's like it's kind of like watching a bad action movie, but in real life. And these idiots really think that they're the heroes. Check it out. You see that? That's not a peaceful assembly at all. Take a long, hard look at that. That's straight up obstruction of justice. And if this were a Trump rally, the media would be calling it an insurrection. But when it's illegals and their enablers, of course, it's just activism. But folks, this is what happens when you let sanctuary cities fester for 4 years under that clown show that was in the White House, Joe Biden. But Trump did promise mass deportations on day one. And here we are, agents geared up, zero hesitation, hauling these invaders out in the dead of winter, because America first is not a slogan, and nor should it be. It should be a mission. But I want you to take a look at this video right here. This is ICE pinning down a illegal right in broad daylight, and protesters swarm around ICE like flies, screaming, "Let her go. Let her go. Let her go." And that woman right there, coughing up a lung, you will never guess who that is. Yes, it is a Democrat congresswoman. Yes, out of Tucson, Arizona. Her name is Adelita Grijalvalde or something. It's kind of hard to say her name. I'm not exactly sure, but she is screaming, "Let her go," right along with everybody else. This is a American congresswoman out of Arizona, and she is trying to tell ICE and the federal government how to do their job, trying to stick up for a foreign illegal immigrant into the country. But take a listen.
More trouble. Just let her go. Just let her go. 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 Let her go.
Who exactly does this woman think she is? Is she trying to overrule President Trump or something? This woman is out here with signs. She's got cameras rolling. She's treating federal agents like the bad guys for doing their job. And get this, the illegal immigrant they're fighting for probably some migrant who's been here illegally for years, probably racking up DUIs or worse, while our American veterans sleep on the street. I mean, we all know illegals get treated better than our U.S. vets. But I think it's kind of funny here. She's choking. She starts coughing. And I like to think that she is coughing on her own hypocrisy. I mean, Arizona voters, I would hope at least, sent her to Congress to represent them, not to play border blockade with cartel leftovers. But this, of course, is the Democrat playbook. They obstruct, because God forbid we actually secure the border. Do you remember in 2023, over 10 million encounters? Fentanyl was pouring in like cheap tequila, kids trafficked, women assaulted, and Joe Biden and his administration just shrugged. So Donald Trump, he is flipping the script, and all of a sudden it's a human rights crisis. Give me a break. And speaking of crisis, I want you to check this out right here. We're going to go back to old Ilhan Omar, where this Somali invasion has turned that state into a no-go zone for common sense. Ilhan Omar, this anti-American grifter who married her brother and hates everything this country stands for. She said yesterday, she was whining about the founding fathers, but she was saying that they would have supported Somali migration. That's what she said. And it's like, wait a second, lady. Are you kidding me? So the men who wrote the Declaration bled at Yorktown. They envisioned a melting pot of legal immigrants who assimilate, not a flood of welfare seekers turning Minneapolis into Mogadishu. So I think we need to deport Ilhan Omar back to Somalia. She's got dual loyalty at best, treason at worst, but take a listen to this garbage.
This is certainly not what the founding fathers of the American dream were thinking about when they said, that when they set out to write the Constitution.
This is not what the founding fathers envisioned? Lady, the founding fathers would have loaded muskets if they saw you twisting their words to justify invasion. They built walls, metaphorical and literal, to protect the republic. They didn't just open the gates to every jihadist and gangbanger with a sob story. But Ilhan Omar is out here gaslighting Americans while the crime in her district skyrockets, schools are overwhelmed, and hospitals are going bankrupt. That is correct. Look it up. While I was doing research for this video, I found out that hospitals are going bankrupt in her district. And her buddies, well, those insurgents blocking ICE vans last night, they're the same crew rioting in 2020, burning businesses, screaming to defund the police. Now they're defending the very invaders destroying their own communities. Insanity doesn't even cover it. But wait, it gets worse, because even some Republicans are cucking out on this. This is Utah Senator John Curtis, this rhino who wakes up every morning staring in the mirror asking, what am I doing today to make our immigrants feel more welcome? Yes, welcome? Senator, these aren't our immigrants. They're uninvited guests crashing the party, stealing jobs, spiking rents, and turning our ERs into war zones. I don't wake up thinking how to roll out the red carpet for people who snuck in and flipped off Lady Liberty. Curtis is out here virtue signaling like it's still 2015 when Trump was warning us about this exact crap. No, John, what we need is more raids, more flights to nowhere, more "you're not welcome here" signs at the border. Take a look at this clown show.
Control anybody but me, right? And the best thing I can do is set my example. And I think all of us need to wake up every morning, look in the mirror and say, what are we doing? What am I doing specifically today to make this country a better country, to make all of our immigrants feel more welcome? That's what we've always had. And I think if more of us would do that, it would matter less what individuals said.
Right. But as you know, he's not just an individual. He's the president of the United States calling an entire community garbage.
So you control anybody but me.
Do you see that smug face? That is the face of a guy who would rather hug a cartel mule than back the blue. Republicans like him, like Curtis here, they are why we fought so hard in 2024 to purge the party of these frauds. Yes, Utah has been captured by liberal rhinos who talk tough on Sundays, but they fold like cheap suits when the heat's on. You know, Trump's voters didn't send him to D.C. to play nice. We sent him to drain the swamp, build the wall, and ship these leeches home. And guys, that's exactly what's happening. ICE raids in the snow, agents tackling runners in Tucson parking lots, vans rolling out under fire. And then there's this video right here in the dead of winter. It's beautiful. This is law and order restored. America is breathing again. But I did want to zoom out just a little bit, just really quickly, because this isn't just about a few arrests. It's the battle for the soul of the West, and I sincerely believe this. For 4 years, Joe Biden let in 20 million. Yes, that's a rough estimate, because really we don't know exactly how many. We just know that there's a lot. Estimates from 15 to 20 to even more million illegal immigrants, turning every city into a pressure cooker. Fentanyl deaths, 100,000 a year. Homeless vets, ignored. School kids learning in trailers while migrants get free rides. The left called it diversity, and I call it something else. I think it's shooting ourselves in the head. Trump said no more. And now protests turning violent, congresswomen playing revolutionary, foreign-born radicals lecturing us on our own history. It's escalating fast. I mean, Ilhan Omar's rhetoric is a dog whistle for resistance. That congresswoman in Arizona, her standoffs are blueprints for anarchy. If we don't crush this now, it'll spread like the riots in 2020. But I think with more AK-47s from the cartels. And you know what? The American people are done. Polls are showing that 70% back deportations. Even blue-collar Democrats are whispering, finally. They don't want to say anything too loud, but even liberal Democrats are like, I've had enough of this. Everyday folks in Arizona are cheering Border Patrol from their Porsches. Minnesotans are locking doors tighter than ever. This is the pushback we've wanted. The side that loves freedom rising up against the chaos merchants. But here's the kicker. If Trump doesn't go harder, faster, these mobs will test us. We need military backups for ICE. We need sanctuary cities defunded. Every Ilhan Omar type needs to be primaried into oblivion, because either we enforce the law or we lose the country. Guys, that's the harsh reality. That's the harsh truth staring us down. The left wants open borders for votes and vengeance. Trump wants secure ones for survival. And right now, with raids rolling and snow falling on the invaders parade, we're winning. It does appear that we are winning, but we can't let up. Call your representatives, share this video, hit that subscribe button if you're fired up for daily truth bombs, because God knows the fake news won't touch this. America, this is your wake up. The deportations are just starting. The tantrums will get louder, but victory is ours if we fight like hell. Trump 2025, making America safe again. Stay vigilant, stay savage, and I'll see you in the next one. God bless.